What's up, Tailgaters? You're in the booth with Tailgate Nate today. Welcome to my channel. We're going over a preview prediction video for a Week 0 matchup, possibly the most anticipated Week 0 matchup of the year, Navy against Notre Dame. This is the game that's set to take place in Dublin, Ireland. Should be a fun one. We're going to preview and predict it here in just a little bit, but for starters, I want to say thank you for the support on the channel this summer. Let's continue the support on the channel this college football season. If you guys want to hear all my thoughts about the season, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell down below, but there are more ways that you can help interact and support the channel. Hey, you're doing one right now by watching the video. You guys can do more by liking, commenting, sharing, and anything else that you guys are willing and able to do to help me support my channel. Whatever you guys are able to do, I will greatly appreciate. But we got Navy versus Notre Dame. The two teams that may not be coming off spectacular seasons in terms of both of their program standards. Navy was a little bit low last year, one of the lower and worst teams in the American Athletic. Meanwhile, Notre Dame, on the other hand, had some high expectations and did not live up to the hype. However, there are some returning pieces for both of these teams. There are some new pieces for both of these teams, and what should be a very, very fun matchup in Dublin, Ireland here in Week 0. So we're going to go ahead, get into a little bit of a preview and prediction. For starters, we are going to be taking a look at some statistics. So this is how every single one of my preview prediction videos are going to work. We're going to take a look at some stats first, and yes, these are statistics from the 2022 season, so you can take them with a grain of salt as there is a lot that has changed. We're going to start with the side of Navy, but Navy's offense last season did not really score a lot of points. 21.9 points per game, only 37%, or only around 38% on third down conversion. You'd like to see that improve. However, they did a good job of preventing sacks. They did a good job of not turning the ball over as much, only 16 turnovers. That's just over one turnover per game. And of course, with Navy, we know they run the triple option style. So of course, they're going to run the ball a lot more than throwing the ball. And their quarterback situation right now is really up in jeopardy. You saw on my thumbnail, that was Ty Lavatai there that had the thumbnail picture, but really it could be anyone starting at the quarterback position for Navy. It could be Tedros Gleaton. It could be Blake Horvath. Xavier Arline may even get some time as well, as Ty Lavatai is trying to come back from injury. That being said, he should still get playing time this season. I just don't know if we're going to see him get a whole lot of playing time in Dublin, Ireland. So the quarterback situation there is a new head coach, new offensive coordinator. So you could see the pass with a lot more prevalence out of this Navy offense this season. As now we take a look at the defensive stats, and the defense was pretty good last season, did a really good job of limiting the run. They're going to be able to do so again with a lot of big boys up front. Clay Cromwell, Jacob Busick, among others, got a really good group of linebackers. Xavier McDonald, Colin Ramos, some good secondary players as well. But the defensive front seven is key for the Navy Midshipmen, as they were one of the best in the nation last year at limiting the run, and they were also one of the best at getting to the quarterback. 34 sacks, that's almost around 3 sacks per game last season. Did a fairly solid job of limiting opponents on third down, only around 36%. So this is the Navy that relies on their defense. That is the strength of this team, and we'll see how much havoc it can cause for a Notre Dame offense that, definitely had its ups and definitely had its downs last season, but there are a lot of new pieces to this offense this season that could help turn some of these numbers around and get this team at least over the 400 yards per game mark, as you get Sam Hartman, a quarterback coming in from Wake Forest, is a very dynamic option now. Audric Estime is coming back in the running back room to a rushing attack last season, but that was really, really good. So Audric Estime is coming back. A speedster, and Chris Tyree is also coming back, but they're going to look to try to convert him to wide receiver to pair up. Chris Tyree is a senior. He's going to try to pair up with a lot of these young freshmen that, albeit are really, really good, but this is a very, very shallow wide receiver room in terms of experience. Chris Tyree is a senior, Deion Colsey is a junior, and Matt Salerno is a graduate transfer. Everyone else is either a sophomore or freshman. Now, you do have a lot of talented sophomore and freshmen here, and Sam Hartman is a very, very dynamic quarterback that can make some throws. They're going to need some receivers, though, to make some plays, go up and get it. Did a good job of limiting sacks and turnovers last season, and really good third down conversion percentage. That was a strength to this Notre Dame offense last season. Let's take a look at the defense. Should be one of the better defenses we see in the country this year as well. Did not force quite that many turnovers, though, so maybe we see that take place this season. Maybe Notre Dame does a little bit better of a job at forcing turnovers, but sacks last year. Hey, they were able to get back to the quarterback. They were able to get pressure in the run game, slow it down when need be. This was a very effective defense for the Irish last season, and it should be again here in 2023. You got a lot of returning talent coming back here, especially in the linebacker room. Guys, I think this could be one of the best linebacker rooms in the entire country, led by Jack Kaiser and J.D. Bertrand. My apologies. Two very phenomenal players. This is the Notre Dame defense that's going to be aggressive, going to get to the quarterback again this season. I think it's got a lot of nice pieces. You do get some transfers coming in. Javonte Jean-Baptiste is coming in to play defensive end. And then you do get a nickelback transfer in Thomas Harper, amongst some other guys that should give a boost to this defense as well. But for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, I think offensively, they have the edge over Navy. I think they're definitely going to be more explosive, especially with Sam Hartman at quarterback. And while they do have some pretty young weapons, especially in the wide receiver room, I like the upside. I like the potential that Notre Dame can play with, as well as the defensive end. I'm going to give the slight edge to Notre Dame here as well. Again, I think they have one of the best group of linebackers in the entire country. Defense is loaded, or defensive front four is loaded. Secondary may have some questions, but you do have a lot of experience there. Cam Hart, DJ Brown coming back as well for that defense. So all in all, I just have the edge to Notre Dame. That's why they're ranked 13th in the country. They are one of the better teams the nation has to offer. As usual, I'm going to give you some what to watch for here, some keys to the game, or kind of what I expect each team to do. So first for Navy, the ground game will be steady. It's what they do best. They run the ball with great effectiveness. They're one of the best rushing attacks in the nation. Not because, well, yes, because of how well they do it, but also because of how frequently they do it. But I do expect the pass game to be more prevalent no matter who starts at quarterback, whether it's Gleaton, Horvath, Arline, or maybe we see Lavatai get some playing time here. Maybe he's healthy and ready to go. Doesn't sound like it, but the pass game is going to be more prevalent. Again, just who plays quarterback for this Navy team is going to be a big question. One of Navy's greatest strength is to control the clock, and they're going to be doing that in this game as well. I really do think Navy going to be able to control the clock. They may have time of possession on lockdown here in this game. They may be able to control that aspect and have Notre Dame's defense on the field for some pretty long drives. And the pass rush is going to give Hartman pressure. However, this is a Notre Dame offensive line that is loaded with NFL-level talent. You got Blake Fisher, Joe Alt, Zeke Correll, Andrew Kristofic. There's a lot of talent on this offensive line, but I do think Navy's pass rush is good enough. There's enough returning pieces to give the offensive line a challenge, be able to push through and give pressure to Sam Hartman. Speaking of Sam Hartman, though, look for him to be more efficient rather than spectacular. I don't expect many deep shots down the field, especially with how young and inexperienced this wide receiver group is for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. When you look at the second bullet point, I do expect the ground game and the offensive line that I just talked about, that is so good, that is loaded with talent, and guys like Audric Estime, Jadarian Price, Devin Ford, and others in the running back room to be able to set the tone. But Hartman is still going to make throws. He may take a couple deep shots down the field, although I'm expecting him to be a little bit more efficient than spectacular. And the linebackers, I've talked about them so much. They are a huge key to slowing down this Navy rushing attack and be able to give Notre Dame the edge when Navy has the football and they're trying to drive down the field. All right, so there's what to watch for. Let's get into the actual game prediction. Of course, this is both of these teams' first game. Notre Dame does, as of right now, sit as a 20.5 point favorite with a 50.5 point over under. According to the FPI, Navy has a very high % chance to win it. This is going to be a 2:30 Eastern game on NBC, and I agree with FPI here. Although I do think Navy covers the spread, Notre Dame is just too talented. Sam Hartman is going to be too explosive. Again, this offensive line I think is going to be too much. Navy's not going to be able to get they're going to be able to get to Sam Hartman, but they're not going to be able to get to him enough to be able to slow down this Notre Dame offense enough. Notre Dame is going to get out there, score points. The defense is going to play well as well. And all signs, in my opinion, are pointing to Notre Dame taking home a win in Dublin, Ireland in week 0, the 13th ranked team in the nation, going up against a Navy team that, albeit, should be well improved here in 2023, at least record-wise, but I am going with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to win this week 0 game in Dublin, Ireland. Let me know what you guys think about this game in the comment section down below. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, do anything else you can to help support the channel, and remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.